and welcome back to Minecraft. Specifically, comment blocks. The way this game works is whatever you comment down in the comments below controls the item inside of this chest in the next episode. The chest is always filled, all the way up to the brim with whatever item you have selected. I do, of course, reserve the right to exclude items that we might have already chosen or items that I can produce here in world. With that being said, all the comments seem to only have one like on the last video, so I selected one at random, and we are going to see who the winner is right now. Let's take a look. And the Minecraft item selected by your comments is... Waxed Weathered Cut Copper Stairs. What on earth am I gonna do with these? Alright, well, let's start the video and figure it out. After the last video, I took some time to disassemble the mob generator. It really just wasn't worth having anymore, and it was just kind of producing a lot of slimes that were endangering what little farm I had, so I took it down. I also took the time to extend the farm to fill out an entire chunk. I know for a fact that the chunk that this farm is inside of does not produce slimes. It is not a slime chunk, so I imagine there'll be no danger to my crops. I'm going to have to be very selective of what chunks I occupy with what kinds of blocks in the future. My goal is to have a world in which slimes only exist if I want them to. What I'm doing with the waxed cut copper now is I just want to circle around the farm and see if I can get these dirt blocks to be a little bit safer should the wandering endermen decide to pick one up. This should stop them. Now all I have to do is step back and see if that's a slime chunk. And it is! One of the surrounding areas surrounding this farm chunk is a slime chunk, so I'm going to have to slime proof the entire thing and prevent slimes from spawning. That'll be fun. I don't have that much wood, so I really can't afford to re-till this soil. And it's dry soil, so if it gets disturbed, it's going to need to be re-tilled. It would appear that the flat bottom side of the wax cut copper block, man, I'm just going to call this thing the copper stair or whatever. It appears that the flat side can allow mobs to spawn on it, but the top is a transparent piece. That means mobs can't spawn on it. I wonder if I can use that for mob generation. I'm also learning another point as you watch this video. I really need to be careful where I place these things. I have no capacity to pick them back up, and it'll take forever to destroy them. So there we go. The farm has been mob-proofed, at least as far as I can mob-proof it for now. I need to make a hoe and sacrifice a little bit more wood to just patch up these little holes. Right now, when I harvest potatoes, I have to plant them back immediately, or the soil will untill, and I don't have the capacity to till the soil right at this moment, so I'm being very careful with this farm right now. I'm not taking any unnecessary risks. Not a single mob will spawn next to this farm, and I'm going to keep the mobs as far away as possible. That's why I destroyed the mob spawner, is the slimes were getting way too close to this thing. If this thing ends up destroyed, I'll have no food. So, now that night is falling, I'm going to step back and watch it closely, see if anything spawns on top of those stairs. So far, it looks like nothing really did spawn. I think the only reasonable goal I can have for this video, considering all my assets I have in my disposal, is to try and make a better mob farm, or at least find some new resource as the result of a mob farm. And I'm going to try to build that mob farm using these new waxed, weathered, super cut, ultra, deluxe, whatever blocks they're called. Oh, they're such a mouthful. I'm going to use it. I'm using the copper stairs to make me a mob farm. I have no idea how it'll work or if it even will work, but I'll do the best I can. I have no idea if it's possible to build a mob farm using only stairs. Stairs are a crucial part of my preferred mob farm design, but I really don't want the normal loot that you get from mobs naturally dying. I'd like the loot from hitting them, so let's see if I can figure that out. Trying to experiment with a new mob farm design. Let's go! To be quite honest, I have no idea how this creation is going to work. I know for a fact that the creepers and various mobs can see me through these little peepholes, but I don't know if they're aware that their pathing can't reach me. I'm not entirely certain how mob AI interacts with stairs. I mostly use stairs to interact with the mob's legs, so this is a bit of a learning experience for me as well. I guess my plan is to walk side to side here and see if I can trick the mobs into going over to some kind of kill chamber manually. I just hope that none of them decide to do that. Alright. Looks like I'm going to have to somehow fix this nightmare scenario. Alright, it's zombies versus Spud. Let's do this thing. I guess now we can cue some epic battle music or something. And with that battle over, I receive my reward, a new item for our world, a carrot. This single carrot shall cultivate an entire crop, and this officially removes carrots from the possible pool of items you can suggest. But before I celebrate the existence of more materials to work with, I have to take a look at the structure I just built. It's still in its experimental infancy, and I want to say it's completely worthless now. It's just throwing off hostile mobs, and it's only a matter of time before this thing starts producing baby zombies. Its design is inherently flawed, as creepers like to detonate inside of it, apparently. So, I think I'm going to have to find a way to destroy it. The only problem to destroying this structure is that copper stairs are actually quite tough. It's really hard to break them with your bare hands. However, oh wait, that works. I'm gonna have to sacrifice a little bit of wood, but hopefully it'll pay off. I made a bow, and I'm going to use my stockpile of arrows to go ahead and start shooting at mobs. My goal is to collect bones and any other rare resources. Anytime I'm able, I'm going to try to convince creepers to detonate on this structure and limit their ability to spawn. I kind of underestimated how hard this experimental building would be, considering I can't destroy the blocks that I'm placing. It's frustrating because every misplaced block loses me entire half minutes of time spent placing blocks, and the mobs just keep on spawning from this thing, so it's getting really dangerous. It took me a while, but convincing creepers to explode helped me destroy all available spawn surfaces, and once that was done and all mobs were killed, I could destroy the rest by hand. Now I'm making a miniature version of the exact same farm I just got done destroying, except this time the mobs will spawn in such small number that they'll be more manageable, and I won't get overwhelmed. Punching skeletons to death on that small mob spawner platform has yielded plenty of bone meal, and I plan on using this bone meal to start up my carrot farm. Normally, I would start up my carrot farm by filling another chunk with dirt, but I have only a very limited supply of wood, so I can't afford to till new soil. The only thing I can afford to do is till this one dirt block, and then bone meal it, and repeat the process until I get carrots. I'm going to do my best to not allow this soil to become untilled. At least not until I'm done. Don't worry, I'm not going to force you to watch a montage of me growing carrots. As soon as my bone meal has provided me all the starter carrots I need, I decide to splice them in with the potatoes. For anyone who does not know this, your Minecraft crops will grow much faster if you place them in rows. Now usually we ignore this because the benefits of making the dirt wet are far exceeding that of the annoyance of planting things in rows. But I'm forced to put things into dry soil, so the rows actually are very good for me right now. Yep, that's definitely looking like a farm to me. With my carrots situated, there's only one thing left to do for this episode, and that's to store all the blocks that are in the way currently inside of the main double chest. I'm not allowed to use that as storage, I have to use that for the new item for the new episode. So all of these blocks are going to have to be placed on the ground in a large stack. I won't have access to them again until I get a pickaxe capable of mining copper. Now I know what you're thinking. Is he going to speed up the footage and play some kind of music while we watch him place all of these darn blocks? And the answer is no, but I could. Yes. But in all reality, stacking up all these blocks is incredibly boring, and I cannot wait until I have some kind of storage system. I'm not certain what that system will be, because I don't know when I'll be able to acquire any blocks capable of storing other blocks, so it's a complete and total mystery for now. With the blocks stored and carrots being farmed, I suppose this episode is over. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your continued viewership, and I had a lot of fun making this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and of course comment the block you think I should have in the next video. It helps me with my eternal war against the YouTube algorithm, and for now, I'm going to have to be saying bye-bye!